The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you've tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Valentine's Day, Joey. How do you feel?
I feel great. It's 17:02 UTC time, and it's Valentine's Day. We're glad to be here, and we love all of you that are viewing here today.
Oh, my gosh. I am feeling so much love. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling great friendships, great collaborations, great everything. And my Valentine's Day law of life for you today is, you know what it is, Joey? Have self-love.
Yes, I love that.
If you don't have that, well, we talked about this during our meetings Joey and I worked from literally 5 in the morning until 7 at night on Friday. And we are a team. We work together in the Laws of Life company, and we are co-collaborators. And we like to don't you find it's more fun to create when we do it together?
Absolutely. The collaboration just brings magic. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because two brains are always better than one. And that's why I love being a host on Digital Design. Again, co-hosting, having amazing guests. We have an incredible guest. I'm going to introduce him in just a couple of minutes. But before I do, I just want to tell everybody that the number one law of Valentine's Day is to stay patient. And because if you have self-love, you're going to have peace and tranquility, which is then going to increase your patience, which then in everything you do, you have to have patience with others. And sometimes I go into my New York mode and I start getting a little impatient, but we got to stay even. We got to stay patient, because that attracts more people to you when you are calm and tranquil. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. I really enjoy working together because our energy just clicks, and I think that we're going to do great things. I know. I don't like to use weak words like today. A quick little tip for me: don't use words like if, can, think, maybe, might. We got to project that into the universe, and it's going to happen.
You know what? You're 100% right. If you want to manifest it, speak it with confidence, baby. That's right. And so, speaking of confidence, all right, Joey and I constructed for you a very, very analytical, sweetheart social media deal. And so what we're selling to you is the process of social media. So it's a 3-phase process. We're going to, number one, we're going to analyze your social media. We're going to create 12 graphics, professionally graphically designed graphics. You're going to get 48 posts across 4 social media channels of Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to provide you the social web software for free. We can either set it up on our account for you for free, or we can set it up for you, and you get 30% off if you're a Laws of Life customer. And it's only $10 a month anyway to be on social media web. So with that discount, you're literally paying $7 a month. So you should probably you can either get your own account 30% off or pay nothing, which saves you $100 for the year. And you're going to get a professional graphic designer. You're going to get me, Joey. You're going to get your social media assistant scheduling all your software. So I'm just saying, guys, for $175, get the social media done. Is that the deal of the century or what, Joey?
You know, I've never heard a better deal than that when it comes to social media, posting, graphic creation. Time is money, people, and for the amount of money for this price for this package, jump on it now because I promise you won't regret it. And the time you're going to save is more valuable than anything.
There you go. So here's a little video showing you the process, and then we'll be back in 20 seconds. Oh, wow. All right, so let's get this show back on the road. I just love Valentine's Day. It's literally my favorite holiday of the year. And oh, by the way, at 12:50, Joey, we've got to jump onto a Global Vision Conference right after this show. It's from 12:50 to 1. All right, so without further ado, let's introduce our amazing guest, Dr. Daniel Staicurt. Come on. Daniel in the house.
I'd like to say that is a really good opener. I like how you guys are very energetic for the radio and this whole show. And it's true, you know, I look at life in the sense that we live in a negative world. And it's amazing how many things you see on the news and how many things you go through. Everything is negative. And when you have more positivity in yourself and positivity in your life, and you have like people like Joey for yourself, you really start to grow. And that happened to me. And then about 8 months ago, I met a person like David, who really started opening my life to people who are positive in my life, and it changed my entire world around. I
Wow.
went from where I was to the most happy life I could ever have.
You just totally touched my heart. What a way to come onto the show. Like you say, we're positive, you're positive, and you have also been such a blessing. And he's talking about David Schaffman, my husband to be, my Valentine.
Yep.
And also a big shout out to Alan Hagel, who's also been such a really good friend, that really introduced to us the whole concept of one of the, I guess you could say, one of the business models that Daniel, David, Alan, and I are involved in is with the Hyperverse, and we've been having a pretty amazing experience with that. And today is sort of a global dialogue with you. I'm going to call you Dr. Danny
That's fine.
because
That's what most people call me.
tell everybody a little bit about your background, Dr. Danny. What are you trained to do?
So I started out in life wanting to be a doctor, and then I eventually went into chiropractic field, knowing that I wanted to be a doctor using my hands. Did like basically medical, went to college, went to medical school, finished medical school, went and worked with a doctor for 10 years. And it would just so happen that when um, this person, David, who came through this doctor's office, you know, treated him for a while, so to speak. I can't explain what he had, but and then he introduced this system to me, the whole cryptocurrency. Didn't know anything about it. I was like clueless. Okay. And I got into this rewards program that they now are pushing, and I just got more and more interested. And then it opened a whole slew of things to me, and I just became more and more involved to the point where, you know, the way Alan explains is an example. You make this much money in your work, and then you would make here for rewards, and all of a sudden it does this and starts to surpass. And I just decided, you know what, maybe I should concentrate on my life and doing crypto rather than doing chiropractic. And I now earn more rewards that I can convert to fiat currency, more rewards that I was making as a chiropractor on a daily basis than I'm doing now in crypto.
Wow.
So, you know, I just stopped working as a chiropractor about 4 months ago, and I was doing that for 10 years, and I'm making more with this in 6 months. It's crazy
So
amount of money running around in crypto. Go ahead.
let me get this straight. You stopped practicing chiropractic
Completely.
medicine. Joey, he stopped being a doctor. Like, were your parents heartbroken when you told them, Mama, I want to do Hyperverse crypto. I'm making more money in crypto. And
They were like, really, you don't want to like at least works on the side? And I said, what's the point? I will never make. And I showed some other chiropractors. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna make anywhere close, even having 6, 7 offices in your own. You're never going to make what you're gonna make with this program in your lifetime. No matter
so,
how much you try, you're just never gonna get there.
so what is the, oh, Joey, you have a question. Go ahead, my
Yeah,
friend.
yeah. I was just wondering. My question is, as in the chiropractor world, it's you're providing a service that's guaranteed that there's people that's going to need that problem, that's going to need your services for a long term, correct?
Right.
So, and in the crypto, how long term, how long can this hyperverse last? That,
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Yes, because the way it's structured, okay, it's designed to run indefinitely. I mean, it's the thing is that when you understand the basic principles, and they have a video that runs with it, but the way it works is the fact that they're giving you rewards to be part of their program. Just like as an example, if you were to go to Costco or you would go to BJ's, they offer you a membership program, okay, and they're going to give you a reward for being there. It's the same concept, okay? So they're rewarding you for being part of their particular program. Now, if you invite people, just like you do to Costco, you tell them, hey, come join Costco and you get like a $20 off for your next purchase. It's the same concept. They're giving you a reward for inviting somebody new to the program.
Okay, now my next question would be, when you do a chiropractic service, you're making money off the profit of a product or a service. So
Right.
So in the crypto, where does the money come from if it's not coming from an actual product or an actual service?
So what you're getting is a reward that in the company. So then what you can do is take those rewards and convert them to crypto, which then you can convert it to fiat currency. Do you understand? Just let me ask you, do you understand what fiat stands for? Because if you don't understand a terminology,
Why don't you educate
then
all
you
our
need to
listeners?
kind of stop me and say, hey, what does fiat stand for? Fiat is for full faith and trust in the government body that you're using that particular currency. So like US dollar, when you go to spend with physical actual dollars, okay, I'm talking about the dollar bill, not the credit card, the actual physical dollar, okay, that's fiat currency. Okay, if you use your credit card, debit card, that's fiat currency. Okay, crypto works on a completely different basis. Okay, and so the ability for them to be able in Hyperverse to continue to give out these rewards is based on a lot of different aspects. Hypertech Global, which is the name of the company, okay, owns a lot of different aspects in their company. They have a mining operation, they have the cryptocurrency exchanges, and that's not just one. There's multiple. They own about 40 of them. Okay, they own the mall. They own the I can't even think of all the ones that they own. There's about 9 different platforms that they own. Each one of them is generating income to them. So then what happens later is the fact that out of those incomes, they're able to provide for their members a 0.5% every day in rewards. So then you can then take those rewards to convert them back to a tradable coin, back to into cryptocurrency, which then you can trade into fiat currency. Okay, that's why it's never ending, because there's no limit to what is happening. And it doesn't matter if you put in the bare minimum, which is $300, or you put in $10 billion. The amount of revenue that they're generating every single second is insane. You wouldn't believe me if I was able to explain it as to how much it's being generated every single second. This is why crypto has took off in the last couple of years.
So just so you know, Joey has recently joined the Hyperverse team, Blanca's team. David and I have our team. It's called the King and Queen Crypto Club. And Danny is a huge part of our success. And that's why I really wanted you to be on the show today, because Dr. Danny is a very respected teacher in the crypto community. And you also offer private tutoring, right? For those who may need extra assistance.
Yes. So what I started doing is I took a concept from my best friend in New York, who I'd like to give a shout out. Her name is Celeste. She does tutoring for students for elementary kids for classes, and I took the idea thing that, oh well, everything that you learn at school you can literally find on YouTube. I did the same thing. You could find everything that I teach on YouTube, but people want a second opinion. They want to have a helping hand. They want to have a person to ask a question. So that's what I provided. I provided a service that people want to ask questions to. How do I do this? How do I do that? Yeah, you can learn on YouTube, but if you make a mistake in crypto, there is no oops. An oops is deleting your money completely.
So what you're saying is, would you recommend this, Daniel, that you wouldn't want to put more money into the crypto than you can afford to lose?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Because if you do something that is more than, like, I've seen people do $50,000-$100,000 in movement of money. To them, that's like $100. To them, it's not a lot of money. Okay. To
Right.
other people who are not as well off, okay, $1,000 is a lot of money. Even $300 is a lot of money. Okay. But it just depends on how much you can afford to spend for your future. I see a lot of people who like to put money into the stock market and have no idea what the hell they invested into. Okay.
Yeah.
My parents included. I asked them, what are you invested into? And they're like, I have no idea. The stock market guy does all of it. I'm like, what does that mean?
So you okay? So they don't really understand it, and I was always I always thought I shouldn't put money into something I don't understand.
The thing is, with this particular program, you don't have to understand. They pay you every day, so you don't have to understand.
Where does that money come from?
So okay, so what happens is then if you watch that video that they recommend that you watch, which is on the hypercommunity.net, there is a section that they talk about that they own. Let's say the Who exchange. That is an exchange that they own 100%. So every time there's a transaction, and if you actually go to, like, let's say Bitcoin/USDT, and you look at the numbers that are changing every single half a second, every single time there is a change of money, they're getting paid because they get a commission. Okay, it's called a spread. Okay, so on that spread, they're getting paid a specific amount. It's not like it's a lot of money, maybe a couple, half a cent here, half a cent there. But if it's happening every half a second, and that's just one currency pair between Bitcoin and USDT, because Ethereum and USDT is doing the same thing, okay, now it starts to accumulate and it's like goes higher and higher. You can imagine what the amount of money that they're receiving per minute would be. And that's just one exchange because they own 40 of them. Okay. So like Binance, maybe 6%. OKEX, like 3%. KuCoin, maybe 6%. So that starts to add up after a while. Okay. They also owned a $100 million cryptocurrency mining operation, meaning that they are mining cryptocurrency on a regular basis. And what is that? Do you know what crypto mining is? Or you're like, I don't know what he's talking about.
I'm clueless on crypto.
Okay. So whenever you move money from one location to the other, okay, in cryptocurrency, somebody has to prove that that is real. The way cryptocurrency works is that it's not a person doing it, it's a computer. The computer has to go through some specific algorithms to understand that and validate that your code is real. The first computer that validates that your code is real is the computer that receives the transaction fee, or what they call gas fee. And it really is called gas fee. Okay, it's the money that you spend to send the money from one location to the other. So the first computer to receive to get the code wins the race and gets the fee. Now, What does it mean when he's got $100 million mining operation? Meaning that he has $100 million worth of computers, okay? Not just one computer like you and I are on right now, but he's got $100 million worth of computers in a warehouse that is doing just mining. Okay. So there's a higher percentage that his computer will hit the jackpot and get the fee than you or I. Because I could put my computer to do mining too, but I have a one chance out of my own computer to getting it, where he's got, let's say, 100,000 computers. He might get the probability to get that particular transaction fee is much higher because he's got more computers to doing it with. So that's what they own, mining farms. That's what a mining, when you hear it on the news that they have mining farms or crypto mining farms, that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
Now, a lot of this takes a lot of energy, right? Because the computer is on all the time, doing it full time. They've recently just moved to Dubai so that they could use solar energy to mine for the cryptocurrency. So they're using that way. There's also cloud mining that they're into. They're into a lot of different aspects that is generating money. That's how they're able to give out a 0.5% a day, because what they're looking to do is generate people, okay? Get a lot of people part of their company so that when they go to a specific exchange, or they go to a specific thing that they want to come out with new, they're not coming out with one person or two people. They have a company and a membership club of over whatever amount of people they're looking for. They're looking for currently about 30 million people. Now imagine that you go with your king and queen group of thing, and you say to them, hey, listen, we want to put our radio station up on your thing. We have 30 million listeners.
Wow.
What company is going to say no? You know what I mean? They're going to say, yeah, where do we sign our contract? And that's the same thing of what Hyper wants to do.
That's a great point. We're going to take a quick break because I do want to give a big Valentine's Day shout out to one of our biggest sponsors, our diamond sponsor, attorney, Tim Marecki, your personal injury and real estate attorney, always available. Let's take a quick look at his message. We'll be right back in 20 seconds. This is really, really important. You can get a free review of your car insurance policy from Tim Marecki. Just email it to Blanca at lawsoflife.shop. And within 48 hours, Tim Marecki will review that policy, or one of his attorneys, and make sure that you have adequate protection. Make sure you have adequate car insurance before the accident happens. God forbid, may it never happen. But you got to make sure you're protected. Just like you got to make sure you have a will. Just like you got to make sure you have life insurance. Like, guys, get your financial stuff in order. Make that a Valentine's Day love resolution, because by doing those things, you're loving the people around you and making sure they're protected. All right, we are back with Dr. Danny, who is our crypto, I call him our crypto genius, because you know, he's got so many, you've got so many answers. You've done so much homework. Like, how did you learn all this crypto stuff, Danny?
So like I said, when I joined Hyper, I really wanted to learn the system. So I really started doing more and more research, more and more YouTube, started talking on forums, really going into everything that goes in with the world of crypto. And I just started doing more research, how to move money around, because I wanted to know more about what I'm getting myself into. Anytime you go to buy like you said, buy the insurance, or you go and buy a car, you want to know every little detail that particular system may have, so that you can better be more and more efficient. It's just that some people are just not as what's the word I'm looking for? As adept to wanting to learn, so they just throw things, and then a lot of different systems that they may be into, they just throw their money at it, like social media. They'll throw their money at it and just be like, I don't know what I just bought, but I bought it, instead of really looking into it. So that's how a lot of people do it. Now, I'm not that type of way, and I really wanted to get into learning about it. So I did as much research as I can, and I do it every night because every day there's something new that comes out.
Now,
You
what are
know,
your sources? What's the best place for someone to
um,
start learning about Hyperverse?
it not just, well, first off, inside a Hyperverse they have a lot of articles. Okay, so you look at those articles, and then you go to Google or you go to YouTube and look up information on a specific article that you like, so that you find out more information about that. Like, for instance, when it came out, I learned what when Olympus came out, right? I didn't know what Olympus was. It's been out for years, but because Hyperverse had an article about it, I learned what Olympus was and what an Olympus DAO is, DAO. And then I learned because Hyperverse made me use the exchange pancake swap as an example for whenever I withdraw money with HVTs. I learned what a decentralized exchange was and how that works. Okay, and what a DEX is. So every time Hyperverse has an article within their system, I'm reading it. There's hundreds of articles inside a Hyperverse that people decide to, like, a lot of people, they just skip over and go to specifically what they were looking for, okay, and skip over a lot of information. There's a lot of stuff on the Hyperverse platform that you can utilize to make yourself even further. And just to let you know, Hyperverse is just one particular aspect in crypto to make ridiculous amounts of money, but it's not the only one. So don't think that this is the only. It's just that Hyperverse is the safest and easiest. Okay, that you don't have to know a lot about. You don't have to do much about. And every morning you wake up with money in your account. But it's not the only one. That's the best way I can explain it. I can't go into how many others there are because there's millions of other programs.
That's where having, basically, as an influencer and the founder of the Laws of Life brand, that's where brand trust comes into play. So as the representative of the Hyperverse, if you've been following me, watching my content, I'm all about education, as is Joey, as is Dr. Danny. And you don't have to start, you can actually start learning and not put a penny in. So we will welcome people onto our team. If you just want to learn for 6 months and not put money in, that's okay. This is not a pressure type of sale. We're not trying to sell a car here. We're trying to educate and share the wisdom and the success that we have achieved. David, Danny, and I have been in the program for the last 7 or 8 months. We've achieved pretty significant success, and you too can achieve the same success. And yes, there is some learning, but Dr. Danny, we're doing a Zoom tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. I'll put the link on the screen. Everyone's welcome to join that. There's hours of free education. And then if you really want to dig deeper, Danny's available at an hourly rate for private tutoring. So there's no limit to your ability to learn this program. And you can start with as little as a $300 membership. So if you're interested, reach out to me, DM me, or DM Daniel. Daniel, what's the best way for people to follow you that are watching you right now?
I just use my phone number. So if you want to, you can give out my phone number to contact. Okay. Or you can give out my email.
Okay, perfect. So you can go, I'll put your email on the chat in a minute, and I'm going to put the Zoom link. Like I said, tomorrow night, we're meeting on Dr. Danny's Zoom link. I will put it on the screen. You can copy it. I'll also send out an email blast to all subscribers of the Laws of Life platform. And we're going to be going over the basics of the Hyperverse program, how you can earn 0.5% per day, and how you can also build your team. So, Danny, when you build a team, that creates the success faster. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So just like any sort of affiliate program that you may be part of, or let's say you refer people into a system, like I said, Costco, I used it earlier. This program per se likes to, it pays you out daily. Okay. But excuse me. when you invite somebody new into the system under you, direct referral under you, what the system does is it gives you 20% of whatever their daily is out of your own money. So you're not receiving anything from them. You're receiving a number. You're not receiving any rewards points or commission or anything like that. All you're receiving is your own rewards points to you faster. So if you're getting a 0.5% a day every day on your own rewards points, okay, you're now going to receive an extra amount of rewards points based on whatever somebody else's rewards points are on their daily. Okay, so let's say, as an example, Blanca starts with 1K. She has her 5 HUs a day, and then I come in and say, well, I'm going to do a 1K as well, just to be like you, Blanca. But I receive 5. Blanca will now receive 20% of the 5, which is an extra 1 HU a day out of her own rewards. So she essentially accelerates the amount of rewards that she's going to be receiving per day. Now, let's say, for instance, as an example, she invites David in. David comes in for 1. She now gets 7. But then I'd say, you know what? Hey, Joey, I know you. This would be a great program for you. You decide to jump in for 1K. You get 5 HUs a day. I will start to receive 1 HU more out of my own rewards because you jumped in. But Blanca will receive 15% of mine. Sorry, of yours. Of your amount of your 5 HUs, she's going to receive 15 as well. So she's getting rewarded because she brought me in and I brought you in. Okay, so it's what's called a 20 by 20 wide system. Anytime you want to go levels deep, like the more people that let's say you invite further on, she's going to need another person wide to be able to go deep. So if you do 20 people directly under Blanca, if Blanca refers 20 people directly, then no matter how far down we go, you, me, the next person, and so on, further down the list, okay, she will get rewarded for everybody. Okay, for the fact that that's how that works. Now, there's 2 other ways within this system to get paid. Okay, in rewards. The second system is the sense of it's more based on volume than it is based on numbers. Okay, so let's say, for instance, Blanca invited me, okay, and then I invited you. We are one tree or one leg of the puzzle of the table. Okay, let's say she invites a second person, and that person puts in a huge amount of money. Let's say 50K. She's going to receive the 20% of that guy's going to get 0.5% a day on the 50K, which is, I believe, 100, 200 something. I don't remember what the number is. I have to get a calculator. But what would happen is that's her strongest leg. Now, me and Joey are not part of the strong leg side. So under the account section of the system, you will get money towards the promotion. When you reach 50,000 in HUs sold in the in overall sales, she will get promoted to the first level. What does that mean? So our team, you and I, Joey, and the rest of the people that we end up inviting, okay, if we make a sales volume of 50,000, or let's say she invites 4 or 5 other people as well, and all together it's equal to 50,000 on every one of our accounts for her, she's going to receive 1% extra. So instead of getting 20%, it's 21. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So what you're saying is for your income to go up through this Hyperverse, it somewhat relies upon bringing in new members or promoting it to your friends and family?
No. You will receive, regardless if you invite somebody in or not, you will receive your 0.5% a day.
And that's a 0.5% in HU, or is that a 0.5% in actual?
Yes, it's a 0.5% in HUs every single day. Okay. Now, if you want to accelerate the amount of rewards you're receiving, so that, let's say, for instance, you wanted to get to 300 HUs a day, you'll get there eventually. But if you want to get there tomorrow, okay, then help the community out by telling somebody else in the system how they could be financially free with using the system, and then you'll get there faster. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of an open, little bit of an open question, but I was wondering, for those that aren't like me, that aren't really that educated on the topic, what are the advantages over with crypto over people that invest in the stock market? Because I know that shares in the stock market are considered unsecured notes and they have no cash value and there's no reserve to back it up. How is that different in the crypto market?
Crypto markets, you have to have actual value behind it. Like as an example, when you go to buy a coin, you're buying the actual coin. There is no, that's
Okay,
what you're
so
getting.
you're saying the money comes from the next person who buys the coin.
Not in Hyper, no. It's completely separate. These are apples and oranges that you're trying to compare it to, because what you're trying to compare is the financial department to a membership club, and they have nothing linked to each other. Remember, Hyper doesn't make its money from people who are joining. Hyper makes its money from all of the other different companies that it has in its system. Okay? It doesn't care what you decide to put money, whatever you want to start with your membership of. It's giving you 0.5% of that number because it's got to start you from somewhere. I can't give you 0.5% of zero. And you can't say,
Makes
oh, I
sense.
want 0.5% of something.
Sense. Now, Warren Buffett, is he getting involved in the crypto market? Is he kind of the guru of that, or is he more?
Let's put it this way: he may or may not say it on the TV, but he's definitely into it.
Okay, now Warren Buffett said in regards to the stock market that as motion increases, returns to investors as a whole decreases. So he's saying the longer you hold on to it, the more motion there is. The as motion.
I listen. I'm not a financial advisor. I have no idea. That's my answer. It's not my expertise. I have no idea how the stock market works. I have no idea about any of that. I just know of stuff that is within the system and stuff that's within cryptocurrency, that even loans, if you want a loan in cryptocurrency, you have to put up the exact number of collateral that it's equal to. You can't get a loan if it in cryptocurrency, you have to do something what's called over collateralized, meaning you actually have to give more money for something that you want to borrow. You can't borrow it like it is in the United States, as an example, where, hey, you know what, put up my house as collateral, but the house value decreases or something, and then you take that. It doesn't work like that in crypto. In crypto, you need to put up the exact amount of money that you want to borrow. You need to put up that exact amount of money that it's equal to at the time. Okay. So it's called over collateralization.
So guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to celebrate the new Laws of Life Roku channel. And we've got 649 episodes, 28 webcasts on that Roku channel. If you want, including this show, The Laws of Digital Design on Demand, where we're learning about crypto today and amazing opportunities. If you want to be on the Roku and have your own show, send me a DM. In the meantime, let's take a quick look at this message. What I want to remind everyone is that when you have your own show, it's about building relationships. That's what a show is about. And I'm so honored today to have our guest, Dr. Danny, with us. He is a chiropractor by formal training. He has now moved on to the Hyperverse and does the Hyperverse program full time. He's been educating us about that today. He's also a teacher on our King and Queen Crypto Club. I'm a member. Joey's a member. We're here to educate and enlighten you about it and spread the love on Valentine's Day about something that's working for all of us. Danny has stopped being a chiropractor because he makes more money in Hyperverse. If that doesn't tell you that this works, I don't know what does. And that's why I wanted you to meet him. So, Danny, was it scary to abandon your formal training as a chiro and do this?
I would say no. It just it changed my perspective as to what I was looking to do in life. Anytime you do like a change of a career in your life, of course, in the beginning you're gonna be like, well, should I do this? Should I not do this? But I had the chiropractic field working at the same time I was working on this thing, and I just realized after a while that I was making if the same, if not more money with the the hyper world than I was with the chiropractic. So I just decided, you know what? Let's put the chiropractic world on the back burner. I kept my license, but now I'm doing this full time and it just doesn't stop. It only goes up. And that's the problem with this system, that it only goes up. And I know that sounds really funny, but you just can't stop it, because the more people you invite, the more you help out your communities, the more you help out other people, you know, it brings you joy because you know you're going to change somebody's life, because as soon as they jump in and they learn about the system and they want to learn more information and they get more people involved and they start receiving more and more rewards, you know that you change somebody's life. You know, I used to do the chiropractic field, and every time I would help somebody, it was fun because, you know, when they got better, you know, you changed their life, and they you saw joy in how they would feel better because you helped them out. And this is the same thing, but now you get the opportunity to do it for everybody. And I know how we started this radio station about being positive. Now think about the fact that you're giving somebody a positive change in their life that will change them for the rest of their life.
It is. It's very powerful, and it's also been really social. And we've built a really nice Hyperverse community. We have over 25 people on our team, and we're all friends. A lot of them have been webcasters. A lot of them have been clients. A lot of them are friends. And we have another training tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. I'm also putting together a crypto and cocktail event live in person in Boca Raton. So I'll be announcing that shortly. Sorry you can't come to that, Joey, unless we fly you in. Pretty soon we'll have our private jet, so I'm not too worried about it. And eventually I'll be like, take the Laws of Life jet and come to cocktails Friday night. And Joey will be like, God, I already rented the private helicopter. I'm busy, Blanca. I'm going to New York to see our other client. I mean, but it's amazing what's been happening. So what are the programs? All right. So if someone says they want to open that $300 membership, or they want to open a $100,000 membership, whatever the case may be, how do they fund their Hyperverse account? What app do they need?
Well, originally, when I first started, I used two different programs. Now, I use a lot of different programs in my arsenal of things that I use. I currently run with 9 different wallets. Okay, you can have any number of wallets that you want. There's no limit to number of wallets. You just gotta know where you put your money. You know, they're all over the place. I have in my phone a specific location where I keep all the apps in one particular area, and I switch between them. I use a couple of them more than others, but there are some specific ones. Now, the best way to get into it right now at the moment is Coinbase.
Oh,
Coinbase is the absolute cheapest, and that's something that I like to do, is to kind of try and save people money the most that I can on whatever you're planning on doing. And if you're planning on putting in, like I said, $300, or you're planning on putting in $100,000, the Coinbase is the absolute cheapest. Now, when you go to send your money to Coinbase, right now, I feel that the best way to doing it is through a wire. The reason is the wire is because, yes, it's going to cost you some money from your bank, okay, which is like the gas fee. It's going to cost you between $25 and $35. And then to send the money to Coinbase, they charge you $10 to get in. Here's the difference. If you put in, let's say, $2,000 into the bare minimum, or sorry, if you put in $2,000 into the system, okay, you're going to receive 10 HUs a day. If you're charging yourself $50, that means in 5 days you got your money back. Does that make sense? So it's
Yeah.
not worth it to wait. Sometimes they say, oh, it's going to take you 3 days. Sometimes it tells you it's going to take you 14 days to get the money to clear in Coinbase because the bank doesn't want to let you to do it right away. Okay, or there's some safety features. But if you do a wire, it's instant. So if you go to the bank and go tell them, okay, wire to this location, and then that you come back at home, by the time you get home, the money's in Coinbase already, ready to go. So then you go to send it, and then you have it immediately in your account, which the next day you start to receive your rewards. So the wire is the absolute best. Okay. Now, if you live in the East Coast like I do and like Blanca does, the bank for Coinbase closes at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which means that you have up until about 4 to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to send the money. Most banks on the Eastern seaboard close around 4 or 5 o'clock anyway, so you have all day to do it. Okay. By the time you send the money and it gets to your account, you send it over to Hyper, you're done. You're making your money every single day. That is the absolute fastest and best way of doing it. Now, Coinbase does not have a fee to buy the specific coin for what we're looking for. You only have to pay the gas fee from the Coinbase over to Hyper, which can be anywhere from $6 to $20. So you're talking overall about $50 to get your money into Coinbase and to get it to the Hyper location. And
Okay.
you make that back in 5 days.
No problem. So everybody if you are interested in becoming part of the Hyperverse, you're going to want to download Coinbase. It's available on the App Store on all mobile devices. You can also do it on your desktop. And then you can download, basically extract the wiring instructions from the Coinbase app, go to your local bank and wire the desired amount that you need, plus those transaction fees of about $50 that Danny mentioned into that wire, and then transfer the money from Coinbase to Hyperverse. Now, that may sound difficult to do if you're not technologically adept. So our team will help walk you through the process. We'll even help you upload the Coinbase app. And that's what I'm talking about, walking you through and holding your hand.
That's one of the things I just wanted to, I know Joey wanted to say something, but that's something that this is what Hyper was trying to project, was the fact that they wanted people to learn how to buy crypto. Because if you asked anybody in the world, hey, how do you buy Bitcoin? They're going to be like, I don't know. So they wanted people to learn how to buy crypto, and they wanted people to learn how to move money in crypto. That is the reason why they're giving us the opportunity, you and me, to be able to teach other people how to do it. Because the best way we as humans learn is from other people, not through videos.
I
It
know.
never works.
So true. You've helped me through so many situations. I just want to give you a huge shout out, Dr. Danny. You are always there for us, and you always take our calls. You help all of our members. You help everybody set up, and you always do it with so much love and kindness and patience. And we are so thankful. So if you want to really come to tomorrow night at 6:30, as you can see, Dr. Danny is a wealth of information. We're going to close in 1 minute. Joey, you had a question, my friend, my co-host.
I don't know if you can sum it up quick, but for those of us out there that are not sure, after the end of the 600 days, if that was the shortest time that they could put their money in, they get rewarded in HUs, and those HUs can be translated into is it MOF?
There's multiple ways, but yes, MOF is the main way right now.
Okay, and the MOF is that based on the consensus of the opinions of the buyers and sellers, or is that a set price?
It's a tradable coin on an exchange. It goes up and down like Bitcoin does.
Okay, so the MOF might not be worth what we think it could be worth if the price goes up and down.
Correct.
Okay,
that's something that I also teach as an example. When is a good time or when is a bad time? I show you this, but then when you're in the system, what's a good time to kind of sell your HUs or to get out, or when's a bad time? When's not a good time to get out, because you're going to lose money along the way. It's up to you. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your own money, but as an example, when
if it's not your fault if I make poor decisions under your advice.
correct.
Of course. Well,
Correct.
unfortunately, we have to close the conversation, but we
Well,
are
I can tell you
continuing.
about it.
No, it's all right. We're continuing it tomorrow night at 6:30. I will put it on my social media, Danny, if that's okay with you. Let's spread the word. We will put it out there on email, and you can message me if you're watching the show and you want to be a part of it. But it's an amazing program. Get involved if you're interested. And Dr. Danny, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Nice meeting you, Dan.
A pleasure. And Joey, thank you for being my amazing co-host, aka Hollywood in the house, my co-collaborator. Get in on this sweetheart social media deal for $175 a month. You get 48 posts, 12 custom designed graphics across 4 social media channels. It is a no-brainer at $175. So book that, baby. Let's go. Let's call it a wrap. Happy Valentine's, and see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock at the Summit.
See ya.
See ya.
Keep on walking straight to the hell we made. Why always a wall, babe, when we wanna come closer? Don't tell a million lies, kill the butterflies. I just wanna make things right.